Clark, Josh Jacobs, Josh Myers, Evan Williams, Kobe Wooden did not practice were Jair and Edgerrin Cooper.
Yesterday in practice.
Yes.
Any concern about Sunday for him?
Yes.
Does that make him more week to week?
No, we'll see. So we'll see how he's feeling tomorrow, but yeah, for sure.
How come you didn't go outside today?
Jaguars shirt, do we have on there? Is that Jacksonville Jaguars? Oh, okay.
How come you didn't go outside today?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I just thought, like, how windy it was had nothing to do with whether or not we were going to get rain. It's just the wind. It's 30-mile-an-hour wind out there. Didn't think it was going to be productive. If it was going to be 30-mile-an-hour wind on Sunday, we would have been outside. But being the fact, just you never know how the weather's going to be around here, but it's predicted to be like 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thought we could get better work inside.
Going back to the linebackers, you feel good about the depth that you have there, especially the way Rick Wilson's played and McDuffie's played a lot of snaps.
Yeah, we do. We feel like, we've got a lot of guys that can go in there and, pick up the slack. Never want to lose a guy like that, but, if he can't go, then we'll have other guys ready.
I've been asked about him a lot over the years in these matchups, but what makes George Kittle such a tough customer?
Well, he's one of the best at the position, and I think he just embodies how they want to play, the style of play. He's relentless, and he's going to fight for every inch, every blade of grass out on the field. I've got a lot of respect for him, having gone against him so many times and watched him, every week in this league, and got a chance to get to know him a little bit down at the Pro Bowl a few years back. I think he's an all-time great.
In addition to the options that you guys have at receiver with what Josh Jacobs provides in the passing game, just what's the added challenge for a defense when they have to take that into account?
I think that the challenge is you just never know who's going to get the ball. And I think, when you're trying to push the ball down the field, and if they do a good job of getting depth in the coverage, and then the check downs are there, those check downs, especially when you're checking it down to a guy like Josh, tend to go for more yards. So, I think it adds a level of a dimension to our offense that you really have to account for.
How much does your week change with the Thursday game coming up?
This week? Nothing.
Back to the Kittle question. What does it do for you as a play caller when you have a Tucker Kraft who's kind of at least a bit in the same mold of a guy who plays, excels in all the phases?
Yeah, I think Tucker's coming along, doing a great job. I don't want to compare him to Kittle. Kittle's done it for quite some time now, but I think Tuck's got a high ceiling. I think he works and prepares the right way, and hopefully we can continue to get him more and more involved as we go. And there's a lot of things he can still improve upon. I think he'd be the first to tell you, but his mentality and his approach is the right way. That's why I've got a lot of confidence that he will be the best player that he can be, and he's going to continue to get better and better and better.
So many times people fixate on the weapons and the skill position guys that San Fran has had on offense, but how much over the years has their O-line had to do with their success and moving the other team back and opening up?
Yeah, I think has a lot to do with it. They do a great job coming off the football and playing again with that mentality. Trent Williams I was with Trent when we drafted him in Washington. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a more talented tackle in this game. So I think it all starts with him and his ability there's nothing that guy can't do.
Sunday was such a weird game in terms of the few possessions you had, and Jordan only having 17 attempts. We were kind of dinging you about the red zone, but you were 3 for 5 in the red zone. Where do you think your offense is from the Lions game through a bye and then the way last week went? Where do you feel like you are going in?
Well, I think every week's another challenge, and then this is one of the top defenses in the league. So I think there's a lot of things that we can improve upon, namely the situational ball, third down, red zone, just trying to keep drives alive. And then I feel like we've made some strides in terms of having less penalties and putting us in just tough positions. But, you know, you're only as good as your last game. And so we got to continue to push. And I think our guys are doing that in the practices. I think they're approaching it the right way. I love the practice that we had today. It was a very competitive practice, and it was fast, and you could hear the pads popping. So I think it all starts there, and we're going to continue to push and try to get a little bit better each and every day.
Two more, please.
Matt, where does McCaffrey stress a defense the most?
Everywhere. Just his presence on. I mean, he's the best back probably in the game, and just all the versatility that he can do. You know, he's just different than a lot of backs in terms of they design a lot of routes for him. So I think he's just so explosive too. So you got to account for him. There's different styles of backs. Like, you know, I think Josh is one of the best backs in the game as well. But they're different in regards to how they run in their style.
Matt, I know Mike Halbach's not going to do a video retrospective of Packers 49ers, but these guys, you obviously have had some really big games against these guys, and you get the sense talking to the guys in your locker room that they view that as, you know, Jordan was talking about it yesterday. How do you approach that with your guys? Do you stoke that, or do you kind of downplay it and say it's just another game, or how do you?
No, I don't think it's ever just, I mean, it's the next game. So, I think regardless of the record, I would think that the majority of teams out there recognize these guys as one of the premier teams in this league. I mean, they've been to the Super Bowl how many number of years now? So you can't discount that. They ended our season last year, obviously, and so I think I know both sides are going to be fired up for this game. It's a big game and two winning organizations, and so it should be a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.